So, there's Abe. Here comes Joey. They are newly bonded friends. Although, I'm not sure they're in love with each other. At least not yet. It's been about 3 or 4 days since I buckled down and spent some time trying to go through a bonding routine with them. And I can't say that they are bosom buddies, no. But neither one of them have drawn blood on the other. They do a lot of what you just saw there. I don't know what if you call them nose bumps or what. Little facing off. Sometimes they do some teeth chattering, which I know is not a great sign, but like I said, so far it hasn't turned into a fight. I have gone to bed every night and left them in their pen together and gotten up in the morning and there have been no injuries. They just seem to get on each other's nerves more than anything. You know, they'll separate and sleep at different ends of their pen. But when they're active and up and they're both awake and run around the pen, every time they run into each other, they, sort of a little face off, if you want to call it like that, right there, just like that. And complaining, lots of complaining at each other. And I watch them when I'm up, so I'm aware of how they're doing together. And I haven't felt the need to separate them since, what day was that? 3 days ago, maybe? Yeah. So anyway, this is their first time to be out on a bigger, more open area since I have put them together. And he does that all the time. So in the pen, I just let it happen. Out here, I'm just going to let it happen. I don't care. Let him make a mess. That's what they do anyway. There's another larger hay bin, plastic container that doesn't tip over, and they both can get into it, actually crawl in and sit there and eat hay. And they don't do that together, but they take turns, it seems. And it seems like so far they are able to get away from each other when they want to. And when, like I said, when they face each other, there's complaining and little nose jabs and that sort of thing. Occasionally some rumble strutting and occasionally some teeth chattering, but most of it is just that complaining. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, that's what they do. And every time my light brown Joey here sniffs dark brown Abe's bottom, Abe just does a 180 in the form of a jump. He just jumps and turns around and faces this one, Joey. Like, get away from me. Stop sniffing my butt. But anyway, so I just want to see how they do this evening out here on the floor. Anything I can do to encourage them to actually play together, I will, but if they choose not to, then they do. Everything I read says they're better off together, even if they don't love each other. And they definitely need each other. So I'm going to keep at it. I've also read that it might take up to 3 weeks for them to really calm down. In the meantime, you're going to see a lot of what we're seeing right now. And then another couple of months before they really completely bond and calm down and can actually not mind each other so much. So I'm going to trust what I've read, hope it's correct, and take my time and with them and see how they do. So anyway, Abe's in the front. There's his little jump. Joey's in the back. They are actually almost the same age. Joey's birth date is listed as August of 2020, and Abe, whom you can't see at the moment, he's got a birth date listed as September, the end of September of 2020. So they're just like a month or so apart, age-wise. But I got Abe in April of this year. He was bonded with an older piggy who was almost 6 years old, and they ended up falling out a lot, and they did fight and draw blood, and I had to separate them completely. And then the older piggy ended up getting repeated bladder stones, and just too much to put him through all kinds of treatments over and over again. So we opted with his last one just to humanely let him go. So he passed in late October, and I waited until about 3 weeks ago, to get Joey over there, who was a single pig at our local rescue. So both of these were adopted from the same rescue, but I don't know that they knew each other in the past. They were both there at the same time, I'm pretty sure, for a few months anyway, before I brought Abe home with his former partner Solomon. But whether or not Abe and this little guy Joey had ever, been introduced to one another at the rescue, I don't know. But anyway, they have been now. Hi there, Bud. He's pretty skittish of me. Yeah, he's teeth chattered. Does not want me touching him. That's okay. We're just taking our time. Huh. Yep. I think he's pretty. I think they're both beautiful piggies. And they look similar, even though they're not related. Joey over there is a good bit smaller than Abe. When I brought him home, I weighed him like 2 days after he got here, and he was at 1,050 grams. And then I weighed him about 5 or 6 days ago, and he was at 1,060 some grams. Abe over there is my 1,500 gram piggy. He's a big boy. So there's a definite size difference, but I'm pretty sure Joey's gonna fatten up. Maybe not to be as big as Abe, but I feed them well. Let's put it that way. They get all the hay they want. They get veggies every day, probably more than they should, but I love spoiling them. And they get, of course, their pellets. I use Oxbow, adults, whatever, pellets. And they get their vitamin C, and they get snackers, and you name it. So anyway, I love them so much. I can't deny it. I just think they're adorable little animals, and they're sweet. They're not aggressive at humans at all. These two, although they act annoyed with one another, haven't really been aggressive with each other, and that's a happy thing for me too. Having experienced aggression out of piggies not that long ago. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to shut this off. Tell you all good night. Have a wonderful evening and a great weekend. Today is Friday, January the 18th. I live in Maryland. It's been raining off and on here today, but it's going to get colder, and starting tomorrow afternoon, we're supposed to get some snow. Tomorrow afternoon and evening, so I actually hope we do. I like it. And y'all stay safe. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening and weekend.